Hey, it's Greg from Evolution Mental Health Services. Today I want to talk about the brain, all right? Now, we all know that the brain is what operates this ship. Everything we experience in life is thanks to the brain. Everything from our emotions, our thoughts, all the way to just our heart beating and our lungs pumping. That's all because of our brain. Specifically today, I want to talk about two parts of our brain that play a huge role in our mental health. And that is the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system. So the prefrontal cortex is this part here, the front part of our brain, all right? And it does different things, but one of the things it does is it gives us the ability to think logically and rationally and problem solve. The fact that we can build rockets and make cell phones is because we have a prefrontal cortex. The reason animals don't have that sort of thing is their prefrontal cortex doesn't exist or isn't as evolved as ours, okay? So that's a big part of what the prefrontal cortex does. It gives us that ability to think logically and rationally. Our limbic system is more here kind of in the middle of our brain. It does, among other things, controls our emotions and our instincts, okay? It's what makes us sometimes more like what we see in the animal kingdom, operating off instinct, okay? It plays an important role too. It helps keep us alive. For instance, when we are in a dangerous situation and we get this big surge of fear and we got to do something quick, that's because of that limbic system. That's what's driving that, okay? So we need both parts of our brain. But one thing that happens sometimes is our limbic system kind of takes over and our prefrontal cortex gets offline, so to speak, and we wind up doing things, saying things that maybe we regret later. For instance, when someone drinks alcohol, for instance, if you drink enough alcohol, your prefrontal cortex starts to kind of, we'll say, go to sleep, all right? It's not operating the way it normally does, all right? However, the limbic system's still firing, all right? So the more you drink, the more you're operating off emotion and impulse, and the less you're thinking things through, which is why when people are drunk, they do and say things that they wouldn't normally do or say while they were sober, all right? The same thing can happen when we're really angry or really scared. Same thing, the prefrontal cortex takes a break and the limbic system is now driving the boat, all right? And so that's why we might act certain ways when we're experiencing these really strong emotions where we wouldn't act that way otherwise, okay? So it's really important to understand those two parts of the brain and what they do. And so we're gonna spend the next couple of weeks expanding on that and tying it into mental health. But for today, what I want you to take away is when you're thinking rationally, making good decisions, that's thanks to your prefrontal cortex. When you're acting off emotion and instinct, that's thanks to your limbic system. Both are necessary. However, when the limbic system is driving the ship, sometimes things get a little squirrely. That's it for today. We'll pick up next time. Evolve, be who you want to be.